Hi everyone, this is Nadia, award-winning mentor, award-winning author, Clairsentient psychic, and founder at Spartanite. And today's round, we are going to be covering how to live unapologetically through primal magnetism. So this is a request topic by somebody that I've known. This person's not my client, but this person was very interested in some of the erotic magnetism and sex magnetism topics that I've spoken about on my blog, and also some products that we've sold and different things basically. So lots of people want to be this to go to person, this it person, this glamorous person, and a lot of glamour is just an illusion, hence the words glamour magic. Okay, so glamour is something that you will very quickly see in someone because they stand out. Now, standing out does not particularly mean that they are wildly different or everybody's wearing a tracksuit to the supermarket to buy bread, milk, and eggs, and this person's wearing ostrich feathers. Look, that's just not extra. That's just crazy. Please keep that shit at home. It's weird. Please. On our shops, we don't need to see that. So, and I've actually seen something like that. So it's just a bit wild. Okay. But what I want to say about living unapologetically is that you can live a very normal life. You can go to work, run a business, work from home, go to the gym. Pick up your kids if you're a parent. Different things basically. But the way you choose to live should have a lot of primal magnetism in it. Primal magnetism really comes from boldness and it comes from fearlessness. So, boldness and fearlessness is contrary to popular belief. Not somebody standing in the middle and of the street and shouting like sometimes I have on my street. People get drunk and they just take off their clothes and run down the street as literally seeing this. So no, that's not boldness. That's just insanity, and also what alcohol does with you. Boldness and fearlessness is basically making the right decision, the courageous decision, the truthful decision over the popular one. Most people are sheep, they have herd mentality, and I will cover herd mentality in this video as well. And so, hence, they cannot stand up. So, somebody who is living very unapologetically, they're living very bold, but they're not. What I want to say about living unapologetically is they're not looking at somebody else's blueprint of success and thinking, wow, I want to be that. I would encourage every single person watching this that find your own version of what you think success looks like, not what you think people on your social media timelines or people that you know or you think are successful. What does success mean to you? For me, success was very simple. Success was doing truly what I love, making a huge monumental impact in every single person's life that came to me, whether they knew me personally or whether they found us through Spartanite, whichever. And also not reporting to a boss because I hate bosses and I have no shame of saying that on camera. I just didn't want to be around people that didn't value me for the incredible person I am. And that I don't say from a place of arrogance, I say that from a place of quiet, understated confidence where it took me a long time to really sit with my own gift and my own value, my worth, and ask, is somebody worth my time? Is this person worth a relationship with me? Is this person worth working with me? Not from a place of I wanted to look down on anyone or I thought that I was better than anybody. There were just really difficult questions that I had to ask myself. Now, we go back to the topic of living unapologetically through primal magnetism. Primal magnetism is always sexual. It's not anything else. Sex energy is the life force energy. Obviously, a couple have sex and a child comes in this world, or even if you don't give birth, you give birth to something else. It's not necessarily something good. It can be something bad. I mean, a lot of people don't have intentions when they have sex. It's just I just want to have sex to get off or whatever it is, and that's understandable because most people are not spiritually aware that sex is the most spiritual thing you can do. It's very divine. It's I don't like calling it sacred, although sex is sacred, because then there comes this whole a whole sort of belief system of it's, it's like this thing you can't touch. I think sex is divine, and I think sex is fun. I think those two, you need to put that, because if you start thinking sex is too sacred, then you're just like, oh my god, I'm not even worthy of it. And then you come to like the religious repression, shame, which obviously spills over into money, which is why a lot of people cannot have primal magnetism. Primal magnetism is not something that you particularly have to work on. It just is, it's there. Now, each person in this world can be very primally magnetic. They can command a room without saying, hey, look at me, I'm here, look how great I am. They can wear very simple clothes, and they can just show up. And it's in their showing up that people stand up and take notice of them. Primally magnetic people will never be out of your mind. There will always be something very ethereal, very beautiful, very handsome, very compelling about them, and it's very magnetic. It draws you in when you look at it. Primal magnetism is simply being honest with yourself and true with yourself in a world that is filled with fake people and liars and cowards and cheats and narcissists and thieves. The biggest blessing you can give yourself, or the biggest gift you can give yourself, is finding out who you truly are, minus everybody else's influence. This is a tough thing because you'll have familial pressure, you will have friends telling you what to do, you will have people that disapprove when you behave a certain way, because most people are conditioned to behave like sheep, and then they wonder why they don't get anywhere in life. And living unapologetically, I just want to make it very clear in this video, does not mean that you are A, rude, B, abusive, and C, conceited towards anybody. Please don't speak to people like you're better than them. Please don't speak to people like they're below you. That's not what living unapologetically actually means. It means that you show up in this world for a force of good. You show up as in one can be authentically themselves without trying to be something else. So one of the biggest examples I usually give on this, living unapologetically for women specifically, is learning to put the steel slack core of masculine empowerment within yourself so that you can be feminine on the outside. I don't have a peach in my hand at the moment, and I have bananas because I'm sitting on my dining table. They're kind of behind me. But imagine a peach, and I always say Spartanite living is very peach-like. So peaches are very soft and they're juicy and they're sweet on the outside. But on the inside, if you bite too hard, it will chip your teeth, it will break your teeth, and it will fuck you up. What I'm trying to say over here is that most women have this analogy back to front. They try to be very hard and angry on the outside, whereas inside, when somebody gets past that, it's like there's mush. So the inside, you must create the power, the steel slat empowerment on the inside. So furthermore, looking at that, when women live unapologetically, we have the strength to live for ourselves, not as a label, and certainly not doing it as a man, because there are so many places I go to, there are so many events, breakfasts, brunches, lunches, dinners, where I just see women behaving like men. Why? Because we have been told in society that femininity is weak, femininity is stupid, femininity sits at home, femininity just cooks, cleans, and takes care of a husband and 2 children. But there's nothing wrong with that, and I think that's a huge role to be given to a woman, to bring life in this world, to be able to be a mother, to be able to be a sister, to be able to be a daughter. That's something really huge. However, where do we draw the line? How can a woman find success for herself but also remain feminine? So, for the men watching this as well, you will have a lot of pressure when you want to live unapologetically. You will have pressure from men you see around you, where you're always in a state of status anxiety. Am I enough? Do I have enough money? Do I have enough cars? Do I have enough money in the bank? What do women think of me? Do I look good? Oh, does this hair gel look good? Is this beard trimmed enough? There's this constantly this energy and this ideology or narrative of I need to be perfect. And both ladies and gentlemen watching this, you don't need to be perfect. Living unapologetically is simply being very, very perfect in your imperfections. And that's where primal magnetism actually comes from. Primal magnetism looks at itself in the mirror and speaks of courage, it speaks of boldness, and it also says it doesn't matter what I feel is wrong with me, because what I can look in the mirror and think is wrong with me, somebody may love that about me. Like, oh, wow, well, you laugh this way. I thought I laughed like a hyena, but this person's obviously in love with it. So, whatever you may not realize about yourself, somebody else may love it in you. And Living for yourself is a very bold statement in a world that wants to make you a meh sheep, basically. I love bleating on camera because it's funny, or a goat, or whatever else you want to call it. They want to make you something else. They want you to live something else. They want you to not know your worth, your value, so that you can completely be sold at the auction, pun intended as well. Um, for the lowest, for peanuts. When people go in and they start asking you about what's your salary expectations, it's a trick question. What they're really trying to ask is, what kind of bullshit will you settle for, so that we can kind of just pay you enough so you'll shut the fuck up and stay here, and also you don't know your worth and you don't know any bigger. I still remember working for minimum wage many years ago when I was still trying to fix up my life, and one being that I work with was just like, you sell yourself short. You need to use your face a lot more to speak with people, and I said to the being, I'm going through so much mentally, emotionally, financially. I'm okay working for minimum wage because I can just hide and I can just get money. And it's truly incredible and amazing that as the moment my worth started to push up, I felt like going to that job was like, I don't know, bathing in acid. So I just had to run. And I had something financial to cover me and to start something else. And each time I've outgrown something, I simply have to kick it to the curb and move to the next level. I don't mean that in a rude and arrogant way. One of the things that I say working with spirits makes you very aware of what works and what doesn't, because human beings have the habit of holding on to things, like holding on to relationships or marriages or friendships or client communications, when it's just not working out, it's just not going anywhere. So you have to be honest with yourself and just nix it, basically, call it. So primal magnetism comes from erotic energy, it comes from sexual energy, and this is the type of energy that someone is very palatable. People can feel it in your presence. You don't have to talk about sex, you don't have to be sexual, you don't have to make double entendres or innuendos. People will just feel a very bold, primordial energy. It's very much in the root area, the groin area, essentially, which is very scorpionic, and I will be covering Scorpio type of traits coming up in a few months in November. But if you want people to truly stand up and take notice of you, the best thing that I can recommend somebody is to work on primal magnetism, work on being comfortable with your inner wahash. Wahash in Arabic means your inner demon, basically. Demons are not as evil as people think they are, or I mean, it depends. You have lower ranking demons who, yeah, they are evil, and you got higher ranking demons who don't even give a shit about people. They're just like, humanity's just a lost cause, we can't even deal with them. So what happens? What is this inner demon? The inner demon is not a spirit. I don't mean spirit possession. That's not what I'm talking about. It means all the things that we secretly desire, fantasize about, fetishes, or I'm not just talking from a sexual standpoint. It can be all scorpionic things, rage, lust, murder, sex, the occult power. Go into scorpionic energy. For people who have Scorpio in their chart, whether it's your sun, your rising, your moon, anywhere, or your seventh house like me, it's very easy to connect to that energy. However, if you don't have that type of energy is very Plutonian. It's very scary. It's terrifying. But in that sort of dark energy, and dark does not mean evil here, it helps you connect more to yourself. It helps you become more unapologetic, because living with apology is constantly thinking, what will somebody else think about me? Now, this is a recurring theme on my videos on Spartanite and also my blog, and I keep talking about it, and I'm sure some people are probably fed up of hearing it, but the point is that repetition drives the point home, that when you truly stop caring about what people think, and you know your worth and value, you simply will not accept anything that does not match you on that, essentially. So I guess it's just one of those things where you have to keep working on it, and you have to keep rising up in your confidence and in your power. When your confidence takes knocks, it's very difficult to stand in your power, because you're constantly afraid of being rejected. And power, in a nutshell, is understanding the opposing team's next move, or their not next move. Say, for instance, you have a chessboard, and I love talking about the chessboard, and I'm going to cover that strategy in a video. I've done it extensively on my blogs. If you are sitting in front of me at the moment and we're playing chess, you need to understand which pawn is going where and how is it going and where is it going and what's the move and what's not the move. So people only seem to look at the next move of their opponent, but you also have to understand the um, the strategy of what they're not doing. And primal magnetism allows you to do that, because when something is very primal, it's very animalistic and it's very unapologetic. If something is primordial, you don't tiptoe seeking permission, seeking approval. You don't think, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? This I don't mean with normal self doubt and fear that every human being, including myself, has. We all have days where we get up and think, oh my god, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing? Over time, as you walk more with your calling and you walk more with your purpose, you will come to find that no matter what you're doing, good or right, is just in alignment with that purpose, so to speak. Also, I would love you to take advantage of our 7 signs that you have scarcity with money, because I am an occult wealth mentor as well. And I'll throw in the link below and you can grab it. And sometimes we don't realize that a lot of our primal magnetism is actually blocking our sexual flow and our money flow as well. Because primal magnetism can only come when you unapologetically command yourself sexually and financially as well, because both of them are magnets. They both come from the root chakra essentially, which is obviously your private area. And if you don't hold power in that area, essentially, you're gonna come to find that you will have issues in bed, you will have issues opening up sexually, you'll have issues commanding your worth, you'll have issues in just showing up in the best version of yourself, instead of hiding away and watching people win from the sidelines. I hope you've enjoyed that. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments in the section below. Take care, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.